Yo.
I was
I love
vibing,
it.
son.
I was vibing to it. I don't know what Restream is doing, but I'm gonna upgrade here soon because they keep on adding. They keep adding and adding. Good job,
Man,
Restream. Y'all,
man,
y'all took me to the moon. I seen you dancing. I seen you get your little dance. They have me good. What's up, Marcus G? Come on, get up in the building. You know we back burgers and blitzes. That we came in with the epic intro. I was like, we was, I mean, for real, if I had me a blunt, I've been great. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been in Cloud Nine, space, all that good stuff. But we are here. We are back after a couple week hiatus, and we're going to talk some good Cowboys football draft around the corner. But before we get into anything like that, what's up, my dog, Mike White? What's up with you, dog?
I am fantastic, my brother. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I can't complain. I'm just, I ain't gonna lie, dog. I'm getting ready for this draft because there's so much uncertainty with this. Um, it's crazy what's being talked about as far as the receivers, running backs being mentioned. Just you know, what's your thoughts as the draft is right around the corner, literally in about a couple weeks? What's your thoughts as we kind of head into the draft? What's your feeling?
I mean, I've said it multiple times now. I think leaving the first round without a wide receiver is a massive mistake.
Say that again.
Uh, Leaving the first round without a wide receiver is a massive mistake, monumental mistake. You're at 12. There's going to be a couple quarterbacks taken, even though they shouldn't be taken that high. But that's just what the
But we
position
don't know
does.
that. We don't know that now
Oh
because
yeah, man. There
you
you
think the
will
Giants are going
have
to take you think the Browns or the Giants are going to take Sanders?
you will have three of your running back or wide receivers sitting there at 12. And when you're talking about this draft in particular, we've been going on and on and on and on and on about how it's the deepest running back draft in the that we've seen in some time. It's not wide receiver deep. If you don't take a wide receiver at 12, that guy you're getting at 44, man, no,
He'll
you
be
got to.
developmental. He'll be
Yeah, you got
developmental, just like
you.
that's the
Yeah,
that's the issue because the wide receiver class is not like it was last year or the couple years past, right? And so since now those receivers are down on the board are pushed up on the board because just like the quarterbacks, it's a down year for the quarterback class, but some Sanders and them. If there were other quarterbacks like Caleb Williams and those guys, Sanders will be even farther down the line. So I agree with you that if you don't get the receiver now, if you try to get the receiver in the second or maybe even the third, it's just going to be like drafting Jalen Tolbert all over again, Jalen Brooks all over again. You're going to be starting at the same thing you were before. So it's almost like you have to get them in this first round, whether it's McMillan, Golden, Burden, and Buka. Those are the four guys I'm just saying that are out there. Those are the four guys that are out there.
yeah,
So if you don't grab one of them guys early, you're gonna be probably suffering in the receiver category down the line because that one's not gonna be there. I don't want no fast big guy that is developmental. We already got those.
yeah. And that's my issue with the like the Tet thing. I love Tet as a receiver. I love him as a prospect. He reminds me of AJ Brown. Like he's gonna be good. He's gonna be really good. The issue is we already have that. We
You
already
mean
have
go?
that on the other side with Lamb. Like
Okay.
we
But we
need
don't, we
like
don't have it like that, Mike. We don't have a 6'4", 220, Mike.
I understand that. I understand that. What I'm saying is he's Lamb is still a relatively big body, slow receiver. That that's what these other guys are. I understand that what they bring to the table. What I'm looking at with the golden thing is that take two steps, get open. Take two steps, get open. Now we can beat you over the top. Now you're over here. Now they can't bracket Lamb because they have to respect you. Now this is all projection, obviously. With any of this, it's all projection. And any other year, like if we didn't have CD Lamb, I'd be pounding the table for Ted. no questions asked. And he's probably still even my wide receiver one. But when you're this high up in the draft, you get to have the pick of the litter, so to say. And you got CeeDee Lamb over there. He's already your 4 or 5 dependable route runner. Go and get it guy. You need some juice. You need legitimate juice. That's how we go get Golden. We go get your guy, your running back from OSU. And after that, I don't care. Do it. Do whatever the hell else you want with the draft.
Then get Alfred Collins. This is how it would sound good to me if they did it like this. If it fell perfectly, would you like a Matthew Golden in the first, Travion Henderson in the second, and Alfred Collins from Texas, defensive tackle, in the third?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, give me those two. Give me those two picks. And do whatever
I
the
ain't gonna
hell
say
you want.
Golden's too small.
No, he's not.
Golden's not too small.
That's the dumbest
He's
shit
he's
ever.
he's because the reason why I
He's
say
6 foot.
he's 6 foot and he's 200. He's not
Yeah.
small. He's thick. He's kind of thickly built. So I'm not gonna say he's a small receiver because
No, he's
nowadays
look at the neck on that son bitch, man. He's got that Tyreek thing going on. I ain't saying they move the same, but that's a thick ass boy. You ain't.
mhm,
We're not talking about hell. If we're talking about players, he probably plays heavier than Lamb.
mhm.
But that's neither here nor there. I'm not trying to put any dirt. So get get Henderson, get Golden. I'd love if he'd go get my guy Taj Brooks. I'd love that if on day 3. But those first 2 picks, nail that. I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone. You can go do whatever the hell else you want with the rest of the draft. Give me Golden. Give me that running back, and then hell, I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that if you had a dream scenario and you didn't do any kind of trading in that first 3 rounds, that wouldn't be bad for me. Golden, Henderson, and Collins. You address the defensive tackle position because that's 6'6", 332 right there in that middle. You get what I'm saying? You need
Mm-hmm.
that. You got your explosive running back, a guy who is explosive at the drop of a hat, and he's a pass blocker, and he can catch out the backfield. He can do so many things. I've been enamored with Henderson for a long time. And then, like you said, you sold me more on Golden when we did our last show a couple weeks ago because I was balking at 12. I don't know at 12. But the more I watched him, and then, like I said, he probably wouldn't be this high if there were other receivers, but it is what it is. But just
It's
like you
this
said,
draft. It's the draft is draft.
it's the way the draft is. So, but when you watch him play, he does play to that speed. He has reliable hands. He can beat you deep. He's very good at the top of his route. He's not a body catcher. He catches the ball with his hands. He can track the ball if you throw it deep. He has a lot of those traits. And then when I listened to you when you were talking about when he was at the University of Houston, he was there for a couple of years, and then he decided he wanted better competition, and
Mm-hmm.
wanted to take a step up and go to a higher level because when he came in Houston this freshman year, he hit the ground running. He had like 7 touchdowns his freshman year, and they were loving him at Houston. But he wanted more, and just like you said, in big games, that's when he came the most. And he's a touchdown machine. 3 things that we love: plays big in big games, which Dallas needs; a touchdown machine, which Dallas needs; and speed, 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 which Dallas needs. So I feel what people are saying about Ted McMillan.
I
He's
get
so
it.
damn
I get
big,
it.
but you got,
Just
let's be honest, you got Jonathan Mingo, and I ain't hyping him, but he's a big body receiver. You already kind of have
yeah.
that.
And now you're putting Golden out there on CB2, and now Lamb's not bracketed anymore because they know if they let that little wiry, it may take 8 games. I mean, he's a rookie. It may take it may take a season, but at some point in time, they're going to be like, we can't let him behind us anymore, man. We
Hmm.
can't let him behind us anymore because he's killing us. He's absolutely killing us.
Yeah. Shout out to my dog, the Lunatic, for the $5 holla. He comes up with the scenario: T Mac at 12 or pass on T Mac, trade to 20, get an extra third, get a Buka at 20, 44 nose tackle T Williams, and then 76 RJ Harvey and 80 Louisville QB right. I wouldn't be mad at that, but I don't know about Harvey all like that. I don't know about Harvey all. I haven't really
Here's
watched Harvey like that.
My issue with these trade back scenarios or even trade up scenarios, it's fun to put that in the computer and see what you can get and see what can happen. In reality, who's that team trading up for?
That's what I mean.
Who's up there? Who's up there
Uh,
that's going to come that makes them give up a third and give up their first?
It's got to be a
To
top-notch player. And see, that's where I agree with you, Mike, because when I've been saying trade back, I want to trade back, but then I started thinking, well, Dallas is at 12. And unless one of
it
those
can't be
top 10
yeah,
players, it has to be a top 10 player to drop unexpectedly to say, hey, we got this guy now that was going to be a top 10 player. He's not. Now he could be with us. What are you trying to do to get him? Because if all those top 10 quote unquote guys go, Mike, there ain't going to be a team that wants to trade up at 12 because all the main guys are gone. Because once you hit after 10, it's a free for all. Nobody's really going to trade up. I just kept thinking about it like nobody's going to trade up for a guy unless one of them top guys happen to fall outside the top 10 and he's staring there with you. And now you got a bargaining chip.
absolutely. And what's the you know, you're sitting there, you had a you had a shit season. You've earned your spot. You've earned your spot in the draft. You're gonna trade back for an extra three from a guy that you want. He's sitting there staring right at you. He may not be there. You go and say hypothetical. We're going from 12 to 19 or 20, right? Cool. You picked up an extra third. Now who are you picking? Now your guy's gone. Somebody snagged him. Now you're like shit. You're on the phone with Will. You're trying to you're scrambling, and you end up with a taco Charlton, something like that. I when you're this high up in the draft, like top 15, I know this draft is weak, but it's still general rule of thumb is top 15. You're sitting pretty, right? To fall back out of that and pass on a guy that you probably have at the top of your board for an extra three, that's not a game I'm here for.
So you're a Luther Burden hater?
It's the same thing as Tet, man. It's just another big body dude that
He's not
relies
big
on.
body. He's like 6 foot, but he is. I mean, I like him, Mike. I like him later in the round though. If so, let's say if you traded back and then you got him at like 22 or 23, would you be mad?
No, but that's a fun hype. Once again, it's a fun hypothetical. That's that's what you're looking at. And when you went through this hell of a season, and you're sitting there pretty in the top 15, and your guy comes up to you, and you got a good shot at him. I'm not in the business of picking up an extra three to to
What
get
about to get a
cute.
4? You don't got a 4, and that's 75 picks that's gonna go by.
Now you can trade a player and get a four. That's what they need to do.
Who would you trade? Jake? Who's there to trade? I
Hammer,
was saying.
Hammer Diggs.
Yeah, but Diggs, somebody gonna take a chance on Diggs with him still being hurt like that?
Absolutely, absolutely,
Let me ask
absolutely.
the
And now
chat.
you
Let me ask the chat. Would you trade
okay.
if you had a choice? Would you trade a Trevin Diggs to kind of sweeten the pot? Nah. Would you trade Sam Williams?
What Sam Williams? What's his value? Date
I
like
know.
round seven?
I know you ain't. There's a lot of potential though. Maybe I think Sam you can get maybe a
What else has a
fifth,
lot of
maybe fourth.
potential? Chinese infrastructure has a lot of potential, but
Ah,
it never.
ain't nobody going to go after Damone Clark. I think the only one would have value for trading would just be somebody Diggs. Just like you said,
Yeah,
he would be the only one with value that you could really trade and be like, that didn't kill us.
and I'm kind of out. on the whole Diggs brother business in the first place. So
Hmm.
that may be a little bit of my bias in there, but I just I don't like that single mother softball energy them boys got. I just and they don't I don't want it. I don't want it around my team. Like people are talking about, we could trade for Stephon. Like you trying to double up on that headache?
Yeah, I never wanted Stephon Diggs to ever come here. I don't, and that's no hate on his ability. I just don't want that
He quit in the
personality here.
playoffs
It's
in
just not going to
Minnesota.
be good for the team if he were to come to Dallas. I just not that. And two up, both of them there, it would just be talking back and forth. The locker room, I just feel like the locker room wouldn't be great. Be too much talking. You know what I'm saying,
Locker
Mike?
room ain't great, is it? Locker room ain't been great for shit since probably D Ware left on that
Well,
side of the ball anyway.
I'm just saying. Well, the other guy left too, so hopefully things clear up a little bit better. We'll see what happens with that. Um, what do you think you could get for Diggs right now if you wanted to trade him? A third,
Yeah, see, probably a four, man.
a four?
I mean, look, I mean, the book's out. The book's out on the boys. Like their attitude, the way they conduct their business, the way they train, because they're two in the same. They train together, like they're locked at the hip. The and you have a compounding issue there with whatever one Diggs does, the other Diggs has to get straddled with,
Mm-hmm.
whether right or wrong. When you're that tight at the hip, it's kind of a combo thing. And when you see, literally his brother doing the same, for lack of a better word, panty waist bullshit and crying and that type of stuff, and without I just maybe a four. I mean, I'd take a four for him, but I'm
Who's
out.
taking Donovan Wilson? I'm sorry, I'm not hating, but you're
The
not going to get
UFL,
anything. Nobody's going to give you money for Donovan Wilson. Not in my
that
opinion.
man.
Nobody's trading for him. Not in my opinion.
If
If
I
they
had
did,
my
it'd be a
way, he would
seven.
make the. If I had my way, he would make the 53, much less the
Yeah,
46.
I don't think Donovan Wilson has any kind of trade value. Not to me, just me. No hate. Just don't feel like he has any kind of trade value. I feel like the only significant person, at least on the defensive side, would be that you could say we'll let this guy go. Would only be the two players we just talked about, Trevin Diggs or Sam Williams, because you ain't thinking about doing Bland, are you?
No, you need him.
What up, my dog Lou? It's my dog Lou takes.
Yeah,
Peace.
yeah. You need him. You need Bland because he actually wants to play football. I worry about that other dude and how much he actually wants to play football. There's a lot of It's kind of funny. They're both Bama boys. There's a lot of Amari Cooper in there. You know what I mean? Like like the man could quit football today and forget about it by Tuesday. That's just that's always the vibe I've picked up, and coaches smell that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Players smell that shit. You got
Mm-hmm.
lifers. You got you any job you're at, you got lifers. You got guys that are committed to the cause and are going to be there, and you got the other guys. And unfortunately, I think he's one of the other guys that it's a job, it's football, good at it, but it's like cool.
You know what? I'm okay. So I like Diggs when he first. I like Diggs when he came. I'm not no hate towards Diggs at all. No hate toward him. He's good at what he does, picking the ball off, getting interceptions. Um, but when we really look at it, do we think even if you don't trade him, he's in the Dallas's future plans the next 2 or 3 years? I don't believe that. It just doesn't feel that way any longer. When he first came in the building, first couple years, yeah, but now I just don't feel like Diggs is in the future plans of the Dallas Cowboys. I could be totally wrong here, but that's what it just feels like now. So I feel like if that's the case and you can get some value for him, It's okay because you can keep playing. You did trade for a guy. You're going to give him an opportunity, right? You traded for Elam from the Bills. You're going to draft a corner. You're going to draft a corner. You still have Carson from last year. Not saying this is all great. I'm just saying you have some people there. And then maybe you get a cornerback higher because there are some pretty decent cornerbacks. But I just feel like the trade thing should maybe become more real than not because Diggs is not going to be in the future of the Cowboys regardless. So you might as well just go ahead and make it now, especially because he's injured and you don't know what kind of player he's going to be back when he comes back.
I think we're 365 days away from talking about him being a potential cut candidate. Actually, no, it'd be three. It'd be like 280 because the league year starts in early March. So I think we're about 280 days away from him talking about 2026.
About just a release, outright
Yeah,
release. Yeah,
just a release, just
yeah, just
completely out of the business. Because let me ask you something. What does Eberflus want his corners to do?
tackle.
Tackle. He wants them to tackle
Mm-hmm.
because that is the way that, and especially the way the game is now with the outside zone and the reemergence of the run game via the double high safety. Your
Mm-hmm.
corners, your corners can't just be some fancy pants out there just playing press man all day and not getting dirty. You got to
Mm-hmm.
stick your neck down there and you got to get dirty. And that ain't him.
No, not at all. That's been one of my major complaints with him is his lack of physicality. Number one, Mike, not just being not a tackler, but he's not even physical at the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm
And
saying? Like he does,
and
we do press coverage, but he don't press.
you lost the most down in and down out physical player with Lewis. Jordan Lewis has been the most physical player on your defense, down in and down out for the last few seasons when he's actually got burned. Now he's gone. Who in that secondary is ready to tackle? Dono going to miss by 10 feet because he misread it. I just there that's a gigantic question mark. And hell, he's not even going to be ready till Thanksgiving. If
Yeah,
that.
so that, my thing is, who's really going to take him? Who's going to take damaged goods like that? Because that's the only reason why I said he wouldn't get moved this year. I said he wouldn't be with the team next year, but he wouldn't get moved this year just because of his injury. Because who's going to take? Who's going to give you a third for injured Diggs?
He, I mean,
You know what I'm
I know
saying,
what I
Mike?
would. I know I'm looking at a potential cut candidate this summer. That's where I'm at with it. Straight up. That's just where I'm at with it.
You
You
rather
got a
try
hell of
to
a
do
deal.
something to trade him than just doing an outright cut. Get something for him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool. Go get
You
a
traded
five or
Amari. You
whatever.
traded Amari, a healthy Amari, for a fifth.
I understand that. And these
No,
are
I'm not
kind of the
saying
same.
you. No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying I'm looking at scenarios for him.
That's kind of the same type of situation. The book's out, and once again, you got his brother over there, so it's they. There's a multiplier effect where we see this one doing that thing, we see the other one doing the same thing. It's like, damn, maybe it's just how they are. Like that's human nature. You can't ignore how close they are and how both of them act, and just pretend that they're their own people. That's just that's just not how life works.
So yeah, I know we got Amari for nothing, but
I
let me,
mean, to be realistic, there's a good chance that like Diggs could medically retire this summer. His shit's fucked. Like that's not a minor injury at all. Like we're talking full knee replacement, bone grafts, microfracture, like all of that. Like This is not. It's not just like he broke his leg. It's not Tony Pollard. That's going to take another, season to recover. This is something that could literally end his career. That's how bad it is.
Well, if it's that bad, he ain't getting shit for him.
That's where I'm at. And when you already then you tack on the fact that we talked about it when he was rehabbing last time. He wasn't doing right. And there's been open conversations about how they don't like the way he conducts himself when it comes to rehab. He wants to play,
But he don't want to put in
but
the work for the rehab.
that's when it comes. It's kind of like a Dez thing, you know. So that situation worries me. So if
Mm-hmm.
there is a position in the first round that's not wide receiver, the only other thing I can go for is corner, and I'm not sure there's one there. So you got to go wide receiver. Maybe we get a corner in a second. You hold off till the third for a running back. But this whole
I don't
this
like
whole
that.
Diggs, I understand that. I would like Diggs to be a professional.
We need a defensive tackle, dog. We need a
Buy
couple.
one, buy
They're
one.
not going, but we've been saying that, but they ain't bought one. You see where we talked about Calais Campbell? He went for $5 million. That ain't nothing. $5 million. So that tells you right there they feel like they're good. And I'm not good with Mozzie. I'm not good with Denzel Daxon, and I'm not good with Justin Rogers. That's the only 3-1-0 techs you got on the squad. If you don't get a defensive tackle in these first 3 rounds, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna be pissed because I don't care what kind of corners you got. You feel me? If you can't stop that middle, which Dallas can't, can we not look at the run game last year? Gave up 136 yards on the ground, 156 at home, gave up 25 rushing touchdowns. That's been the Achilles heel of Dallas for how long? They ain't had a real 0-1 tech in forever. And I'm sorry. The same way you saying that you can't go without the speed. We got to get a receiver. That's the same thing I'm saying with this defensive tackle position. There's too many damn good defensive tackles, 6'3", 330 and up. And if you don't get one of them guys, and if you don't get a fourth, and you go 70, I'm gonna be livid. I'm gonna be pissed.
I hear you. I'm here for it. I would love to, but I worry about them when it comes to scouting defensive tackles.
I know we suck. That's the problem, Mike. Shout out to Life's Crazy for the $4.99 holler. Does Dallas have the guts to move a couple spots down?
We talked about that. What's the point? I mean, I'm sure they do, but that's a two-part scenario. One, this draft is weak as shit. Who's coming up? Who's coming up, and who are they coming up
I don't see it. Unless one of the top guys fall,
for?
nobody's going to trade up.
Two, you're already in a weak draft, and you're sitting there at 12, and you've got your number one player on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Is that worth picking up an extra third or fourth for to fall back a couple spots? Now you're picking who knows what.
Yeah,
And
but I feel what you're saying. But if you can get a couple more, we need a couple. We need a. I'm saying we need that for 75 spots. Really, just bothers me. It's going to be White Queen. We saw it last year. If Dallas didn't trade back and getting that fourth, them
I can,
names were
hey,
dropping like flies.
I can get you all the picks you want in the world. You ain't gonna like how I do it though.
Oh, we ain't
We
talking
talked
about
about.
that. We ain't
Hey,
talking about that because that's not a real scenario. We got to talk about a real scenario because we know Dallas not doing that.
okay, well, we're talking about real scenarios while we talking about trading back because that's not what they do, or much less trading up because that's not what they do. They may
Didn't
trade
they
up in the
trade? Didn't they
second.
make a trade? They traded for Michael Parsons. Didn't they do a two trading down a couple of spots for Michael Parsons, giving Philly that 10?
They fell two spots
Well, I'm saying, but that means they will trade down then. So that's not saying
because
they won't do it.
they were wiped out and they settled on an off the ball linebacker at 12. That draft pick was going to be
Settled on a
terrible.
great player.
And then, dude, don't revise history. They drafted an off the ball linebacker at 12.
Okay.
Then DeMarcus Lawrence got hurt. Armstrong got hurt. They didn't have a choice. They put him on the line. They're like, son of a
Yeah, but
bitch,
you
look at this.
but first, you can't tell me that, Mike, because you can't tell me they didn't scout and see he didn't play defensive end in high school. He was a top defensive end in high school. They
Why are we
converted
talking
him to
about high
linebacker.
school?
Listen, bro, because that's the position he played.
Derrick
And
Henry
then
was
when
a
he, hold
quarterback
on,
in
hold
high
up,
school.
hold on. When he went to Penn State, they saw he was off-ball linebacker. But if you watched his Penn State tape, he was on that line rushing the quarterback too. He was.
That's why you had 4 career sacks.
But you saw it. You saw the explosion coming off that line of scrimmage.
They drafted an off the ball linebacker. They
Okay.
talked about it.
Okay. They
Injuries
still knew
forced
he
them
could
to
pass
move him
rush.
up.
Okay. They still knew he could pass rush. They did. You can't tell me they didn't know he couldn't pass rush.
I mean,
So,
if they could, they must have had some secret film I didn't know about.
I mean, I watched the tape. I had the college tape. That's what got me enamored with him. I wasn't thinking about linebacker when I watched him. I thought him attacking the
There's a
quarterback.
difference in a pass rush here or there, and lining up 90% of your snaps on
Listen
the
to
edge.
David. Just listen to David. Just read that what David said.
No, I love the player. I just think he's annoying as fuck as a human.
But we ain't talking about that because there's a whole bunch of annoying motherfuckers on Dallas.
Absolutely.
Oh, and
If you're saying I can't
football.
stand Parsons, I can't stand a human. I love the player. I love the player. But I can separate that.
I can't tell. Okay, you know what's funny how you say that? Because Mike be like, I can't stand the player outside of it, but I love the player. That's why I be feeling like when you be with that, when you be like, you hate that, you don't like that, and I be like, I like that, but it's the same thing, Mike. It's the same thing.
If Dak had a podcast and he was chronically online, constantly saying stupid shit, I'd be in the same boat. My Parsons he could just stay quiet for like 5 seconds. I ain't trying to tell you shut up and dribble, but god damn it, man, we don't need to know everything that you're thinking about in that moment. We don't need the stream of consciousness. We don't need that. You get enough attention.
So every time you mention Parsons, I would just go to my Dak analogy. Every time you do Parsons, I'm like, see, it's the same thing with me with Dak. I like that, but he annoys me.
As a human?
No, not as a human. He doesn't annoy me.
Well, then what are you talking about? Because I'm talking about the human.
He annoys me. His play annoys me. His play annoys me at times.
Yeah, Parsons ignores me when you found out the best way to get 200 yards on the ground is to run right at his gap.
I mean, and Dak ignores me when I tell him stop throwing that stupid interception when you don't need to do that.
Hey, how about we get a receiver that can separate outside, CeeDee Lamb? Maybe we get him another receiver. That'd be great. Now we go get him Golden, get that 2-step turn, bam, 2-step, bam.
Yeah, and let me tell you, if you got Golden, he wasn't doing it, I'll be all on Dak. Like, see, Mike, what I tell you.
I mean, it's all a projection. You're picking these dudes. You're buying a car sight unseen. You don't get to drive it. You don't get to take it to the shop and put it on the lift and check up underneath it and everything like that. You're buying a car, and it's getting shipped to you. And you hope that's what it is. So you make the most educated decision you can in that time. And for me, that makes sense to me. And if we're going to talk about
this Mike don't like Parsons off the field. He loves Parsons on the field. He doesn't like Parsons off the field as far as.
But at the end of the
he's just annoying. Yeah, but that don't got nothing to do with his playing though. I don't care how annoying he is. You feel me? I don't care. I don't care. You produce, so I don't care.
I've never seen somebody so confidently incorrect. Like the man reads, like he's that dude in your friend group that like reads all the books and like takes the wrong message away from every single one of them, but it has the most to say about everything. So confidently incorrect at all times, and it annoys the shit out of me. But you put him on the field, and he's probably the best football player on the field on any given Sunday. I don't care if it's Mahomes or Allen or Jefferson or whoever the fuck else is out there, he's probably the most talented man on that field any given day. But he
Well, I
annoys
tell
the
you
fuck
what,
out of me.
but I tell you what, you probably would have been saying that about Lawrence Taylor too if there was Twitter. Because I know Lawrence Taylor would have been on Twitter, never shutting the fuck up.
Lawrence Taylor
Would have
would
never
have been
shut the fuck up.
Lawrence Taylor would have played 3 fucking games as a professional athlete if we had that social media. Because
Yeah, you right. Because he would have gotten in trouble. Lawrence Taylor, I'm glad Lawrence Taylor didn't have social media. I'm
TMZ would
so
have had
glad.
his ass
I'm
coming out the back.
so
Coming out.
glad Lawrence Taylor, you didn't have social media because you would have been suspended a long time ago.
They catch the trader coming out to the parking lot to hook up with this guy. You know, it's like that, TMZ would have been on his ass
Hey,
like,
y'all,
right,
you
all
got to
right.
understand. Parsons is an internet baby, man. Parsons is an
Yeah.
internet baby. When them kids grew up in them 2000s, like Gerald said, I mean, when he says that, they don't know no better. They woke up with iPhones. They don't
Yeah,
know any better.
that man's never heard a dial-up modem in his life. He never heard a dial-up modem. He was born and he had 5G on his phone.
Yeah, 5G. He's an internet baby. So let me ask you this:
He didn't have to print out pictures of Pamela Anderson. You know.
Let me ask you this, Mike: are they done in free agency? In your opinion, are they going to get a receiver? Are they going to get another? Are they going to? Is that what it is? Are they saying? Because I heard Stephen Jones saying we love our receiver room. When he says that, I feel like, oh boy, that's it. Don't worry about that room no more.
Oh, they're not touching the receiver room.
Okay, so
what I would like to see is that, you know, now that it's gone far enough and this market's in the tank and you lost Lewis, I wouldn't mind doing a little exploratory incentive-based contract with Asante Samuel.
Now I want to hear you say that again because you didn't like Asante about a couple weeks ago.
Hey, that was a couple weeks ago, brother.
Okay. Talk to me about Asante, because when I seen that, because I want you to explain, because when I seen your tweet, I got mad.
Now we're talking about.
I'm like, man, Asante alone.
Now we're talking about not giving up picks. Now we're talking about not wanting a fresh contract. Now we're talking about he wants to come here on a Stephon Gilmore type deal. You know, that get his name back out there and get it, maybe pop off a good season. And if there's one thing this team is good at, is those 1 year incentive laced contracts.
Yeah.
And I would love that because you have a hole there. And Eberflus's defense runs through that position a lot. So that's something
they need to make that happen. That's a definitely no-brainer. You can't tell me he ain't affordable a 1 year, $4 million contract.
Last time we talked about it, people were talking about like Carolina was expecting like a second or a third or some shit. Like, no, we're not doing that. No, we'll just go ahead, let y'all ride it out. Okay, so he's gone. He's on the couch. Cool. Here's you an incentive-laced deal. You want to come play football?
They got to make that one happen because he definitely will be affordable in a rental for a year. Y'all definitely can do that. And he's only 26.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. You know, that now you're talking about the same truck he was shopping for $40,000 2 months ago. Now you're asking, you know, 15,000 or best offer. Now we can talk.
Yeah.
Now we can talk.
Yeah. But that was what's even crazy though, Mike, is that we're not touching the receiver room, but you still got some vets that you can afford too.
Absolutely, and those same vets will still be there in June.
So you saying they're going to try to wait that out, and you think you maybe try to get one of them then?
No, knowing this team the way I do, they're going to draft a wide receiver, and then we'll let the West
and put all the and put because they're really invested in Mingo. They're invested in Mingo. They're invested in Mingo.
They hate admitting a mistake.
Right. So they're super invested because they ain't going to admit that. They're going to give Mingo every damn chance to be a guy. They're going to give him every opportunity to be a guy because they picked that fourth round pick.
There's the same reason with Let's Go still on the team because that's what they got out of Amari Cooper.
Because that's a Stephen Jones pick, and that's why he ain't letting his ass go.
because the minute they cut him, now the Amari Cooper trade looks even more stupid, and that hurts
Right,
his ego.
right. Exactly. Exactly. But they need to get that Asante Samuel. I'm mad they didn't
That
do the Calais Campbell. You could have did him a year for $5 million. You could
Yep.
have did that. God, dog it, you could have did that. That pissed me off. You that was an opportunity to really help your defensive tackle room, help Mozzie. He's coming cheap. You played for $2 million last year, damn it. Oh my God, what are we doing here? I don't want
Yeah,
Tyler Lockett. I don't want Tyler Lockett. I'm sorry, I just don't want Tyler Lockett. If I had a choice
I
between
wanted
Cooper,
I wanted him
Keenan,
7 years
and
ago.
Lockett, yeah, right. I still would take Keenan Allen. I don't want Amari because I don't want the sulkiness. I don't want that back here. He
You
sulks too much.
you you have a better chance of Jerry Jones admitting to his illegitimate children than you do of Amari Cooper signing back here.
That's
That
what
is
I
not
said. That
that
ship
is
has sailed.
not happening, dude.
Yeah, and it don't matter what if it was a Mike McCarthy thing. That ship sailed. And once you end with Dallas on kind of bad terms, they ain't coming back and revisiting that with you. They're not.
Jerry let his money get mad. Period.
We'll see, Cowboy Thanos, if Mingo's not a bad player. We'll see. I'm not saying he's bad or good, but I don't like how they just pick up guys and they're broken up, they're injured, they were failed first rounders, and they're always in their head. Well, maybe we can do it. It didn't work over there, but I don't like that theory because they did it with Trey
Dude,
Lance. They did it
they
with.
remind
They're
me
doing it with
they
Mingo,
remind
and
me of that good girl you went to school with. Like, she a licensed nurse now. She donates her time to food banks and stuff like that. And she always got some fucked up ass bum in the house thinking she could fix him.
yeah,
And he goes
I get
killer
tired of
TV when
that.
she at
Yeah,
work.
I'm not hyping no
She goes,
Jonathan Mingo, bro.
dude,
Sorry.
you can do better. Like, stop,
And
stop.
for a fourth, and he ain't did shit. Nah, I can't. I ain't gonna get no hyped over no Jonathan Mingo. I'm sorry. He'll be right back, but I ain't getting hyped over no Jonathan Mingo, dog. I ain't hating or anything like that. But I don't like the Cowboys thought pattern of always getting players that, oh, if they didn't work over there, well, we can get them to work over here. I just don't like that theory because I feel like that's lazy. In my opinion, it's lazy because you're always like scouring for failed failed experiments and always saying, "Well, he'll work with us." Bring your camera
I
down,
can,
some Mike.
I can. Well, I'm trying to, man. I got my 40-mile-an-hour wind. It keeps blowing my shit
Oh,
over.
okay, okay. My bad, my bad,
Yeah,
my bad.
but we about to get out of here pretty soon anyway, so we'll be
Yeah.
all right.
So, I mean, I just feel like I'm gonna just keep it real, Mike. I don't want to say this is going to be a bad draft. I don't want to say anything bad, but I just feel like I just don't feel right about this draft because we're missing a pick. I just feel like they're going to do something in this draft I do not like, and I just have a bad feeling about it. I'm trying to get excited about it and the players, but I just feel like Dallas is going to do something different, and I'm not
I
gonna
don't.
like it.
I don't know what you're stressing about. All you need to do is hit on every single pick so they can be a day one starter and you'll have a decent team.
I ain't stressing. I'm just like I
What's
just
the
feel like
issue? Just pick all the good players and don't pick any bad players, and they'll all start day one, and everything will be great.
but I'm sorry. I'm gonna just keep on. I just feel like if they don't address this defensive tackle position with this many defensive tackles, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, see, yeah, y'all just the same. I already know y'all the same, but this will just continue to prove it. Okay, with Matthew Golden, I get it. He's being overdrafted, though. You can agree with me on that, Mike. He is being overdrafted because the receiver pool is not great. But this defensive tackle position is very good. And if you're negligent this year with these defensive tackles, especially this one text, and that's been your Achilles heel for so long, bro, I don't know what I'm gonna think. They're 6'6", 6'5", 330s, and they're good players. And I'm not waiting. I don't want to wait to know try to get up one in a fifth. No, 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 no. If you do that, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's gonna just I already know what
I know
y'all
what
are,
I
but
would
it's just
do.
gonna piss me off. It's gonna piss me off. It's
I
just
know
gonna
what I
piss
would
me
do.
off.
You got
Hmm.
this year's second. You got next year's second, and I'll even give you next year's fourth. Give me that Dexter Lawrence. Give me that.
Or that one. What's the one cat from Tennessee?
Yeah,
What's his
either
name?
one. I'm blanking on it right now, brother. Is it,
Ah, what's that guy from Tennessee? That dog, the
dude?
defensive tackle.
I'm so old. I wanted to say Timmy Jernigan. I'm like, I know that motherfucker ain't playing
Timmy
no more.
Jernigan. Yeah, you real old. You come. But hey, let me tell you, I know that Timmy Jurgensen came from Florida State though. I remember him. Who was that? What's his name? Somebody y'all know who I'm talking about. The defensive tackle for the Tennessee Titans. If it ain't your boy Dexter Lawrence, it's the other one.
Well, Norman Lott.
Um, huh?
Norman Lott. He's got
No, Simmons.
or is it
Simmons.
Simmons?
Simmons.
Oh, Simmons.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
he's an animal.
Why is everybody named Simmons good at defense?
Cut it out. Okay, you think what you want.
I mean, there's a lot of dudes named Simmons that's good at defense.
On the Tennessee Titans, he's damn good.
I'm just mean in general. Like, there's a lot of dudes named Simmons that's good at defense.
Right, right. Yeah, hit that like button. Jeffrey Simmons, he's a dog. But I agree with you, Mike. Go get a Dexter Lawrence and be bold, but they don't. This this is our problem, dog. We say these things, and it's really a simple thing. It really is a simple thing to do, but they don't do it, and thus we have these talks, and you just talk in frustration because you watch your team open up money. They get broken players. I'm not hating, but you get broken players. You get injured players, you get failed players, and then you try to pawn it on to the fans like, hey, we're doing a lot of great things. All you did was sign people quicker, but you did it with the same method. You signed the coach the same way. You got lucky and got a good one. You lucked up and got that. But everything you're doing is the same. You just sped the process up, but it's still the same damn thing. And that's why I'm worried about the draft that y'all gonna do something goofy. You was goofy when you got Schoonmaker in the second. You would have Devon Chan on your roster right now. You wouldn't be talking to running back. But I just feel like I don't want to see them not get a defensive one tech. It's going to be terrible if they don't, Mike. It's going to be bad. It's going to be
Yeah,
bad.
buy
So
one. Because drafting one's like drafting a tight end.
you're
Sure, you got
right.
all these
We need to
projections.
buy one. You're right.
That guy
We
ain't
need to
gonna be
buy
good
one.
till year three. Hell, even Dexter Lawrence didn't hit till year three, and
You're
they
right.
overspent for
And
his ass.
Simmons didn't come in right in
No,
dominate neither. He took a year and that he took about a couple of years, the
well,
second years when he
it's
really
gonna
started
take
turning
three.
up.
Just like tight end. It's a 3 year position, and then chances are you develop him and somebody else pays him.
Yeah.
Which New York should have let him go but they thought that Daniel Jones is going to be good at football. So that's a whole nother conversation. But
See,
man, I
this is what it is when we go and get off here because I'm going to give me something. But this is what it is right here with DP Johnson. JB, why are we still talking receivers when one tech and corner are bigger needs? I'm just saying, sign Allen, which we've been saying. You draft a running back when it fits, but we need to draft defense. Defense and corner are bigger needs than a receiver. I feel that same way too. Because if you get a Keenan Allen, that doesn't mean you don't still get the receiver. That doesn't mean you don't still get a Matthew Golden, but if you get a Keenan Allen, I feel better if then you got a Golden. I feel like if you don't get a vet and you just get a Golden, it puts us in a bad position again, Mike. Not saying I don't like him. I like Golden. But I just feel like that vet eases him in. I just don't want him thrown. I don't know. I just want him eased in. I want that vet. I want that
I
vet
want
more
you
than anything.
I want you to look at the history of first round wide receivers that Dallas has drafted and the lack thereof, much less second round wide receivers. You are in a prime position to get a prime position, for lack of a better word. Don't get cute with it. The guys are sitting there. Pick one. You want Ted? Take it. You want Burden? Take it. You want uh Golden? Take it. You
We
want
got to get him in the first, though. I agree. We got to
you
get a
have to
receiver in the first.
you
We
have
have
to,
to get a
dude.
receiver in the first. I agree.
You have
We
to.
do have to agree. If y'all let me know in the chat, because we can ready to cut it off here, but y'all let me know. I agree. We got to get a receiver in the first round, Mike. Because if we don't, there's no
You,
point. We already got that in the backup sitting
yeah,
waiting.
you might as well not even line up next year.
Yeah,
I'm
I
dead
agree.
ass serious. And
As
even that's
far as the receiver
projection.
position,
That's projection, but at least you have hope that it's
Keenan
somebody
signed.
other than Lamb.
Keenan signed with the Chargers. I didn't hear that when he signed with the re-signed with the Chargers.
What?
I ain't hear about no Keenan Allen signing with no Chargers. I just heard that, but I'm about to go check. Yeah, but
I don't keep a habit to keep up with 35-year-old free agents. So
yeah, I just be looking at the line. So when we get ready to
I
close
wanted
here,
Keenan Allen 10 years ago. So
yeah, I know we always want them players when we could get them. I'm with that, Keystone. I've been saying that. So what's your closing thoughts on free agency, the draft? What's your feeling going into it? These are Mike's last thoughts. Not ever.
first round wide receiver, second round running back. I don't care what you do with the rest. Go buy me a defensive tackle. Figure out what the hell you're doing with Diggs. Leave the offensive line alone. Get your
Yes.
five. Leave them the hell alone. Stop with the position flex. Stop with we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Get your five in June and leave them the hell alone. Period. That's it.
There it is. I'm a second that. Get the receiver in the first because you don't need developmental. You already got that. You need a guy who's a starter day one now, and you need to get that running back. I think you can not have to do it in the second. I want Henderson, but I know you could get other guys. But you must get a corner, linebacker, defensive tackle. You must draft. And like Mike said, leave the offensive line alone. And you just picked up the other Charles. That's telling me that they're trying to not mess with the offensive line. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave it
It's
alone.
like a smoker.
Don't pick no
You
offensive
put a
lineman in no first round.
you put it you put your brisket on the smoker and you close the lid and you leave the son of a bitch alone and you just go back inside and you just let it great. You just leave it alone.
Yeah. Leave it alone. Leave offensive lineman alone. Get that receiver. Get that D tackle. If Mike says buy them, but I don't think they buying them, so that's why I say get them because they ain't gonna buy. And get this running back, man, and then figure it out after that. But them first 3 rounds, receiver, running back, D tackle, that's what it needs to happen in that order. Or you can flip the
Yeah.
defensive tackle in the second and get the running back in the third. But you got to get the receiver, the running back, and the DT. Period.
Just yes.
There it is.
I just want the
I
first. I
appreciate
just
you, my
want the
dog.
first two picks. Yeah, I just want
Yeah, I
the
know,
first two
right?
picks. You can do that. You can do whatever you want with the rest. I'm gonna go fix the offense right quick. I'm gonna go get Golden. I'm gonna go get your running back, and I'll be under a shade tree drinking lemonade. Y'all figure out the rest.
Shit, if you go get your receiver and your running back in first 2 rounds, I say get defense the whole damn way.
That's fine.
You did it
I'm
in
chilling. I don't. I,
2021.
I don't. I don't care. I don't
Yeah,
care if you draft mascots the rest of the way. Give me my first two picks, and I'm cool.
yeah. We're gonna see. Well, here it is. Burgers and Blitzes. We was back and right around that hour time, so that's a perfect time. Good to see you again, my dog. I can't wait till we see this first pick because we're gonna have a time to talk about that. That shit gonna be funny.
We might do a
Please
show
don't
that
don't
night.
surprise us, Dallas, on some dumb shit. Please.
What they trade back to like 28th or something? You're like, oh fuck, what's going on?
Hey, if they traded back that far and still got Luther Burden, I'd be happy.
But you trade back to
Luther Burden's a
28th.
starter.
Watch it. No, I'm talking about trade back to 28th and just watching player after player after
What if all of them
player
are going to
after
these running
player
back?
after
All them
player
receivers
after
were gone.
player, and then they take your running back at 28.
That's why you can't go back too far. I say like 22 at the most. 24. No, don't go back too far because you miss out one. They're like, oh, we got them. We about to take them now. Yeah, I ain't going past 22 because 10 spots is enough. In that 18 to 22 range, that's far enough for me. I don't go no further
Yeah.
because you
Hey,
will miss your guy.
by the way, I got to speak up for my guy Taj Brooks. I got him in the comments. I'm telling you, the guy's a player. I'd love to have him. I'd love to have him. But if you get me that running back and that wide receiver in round 1, 2, I'm cooling. If we miss out
Yes,
on Taj,
Vondell. You can get Taj
so
later, but they're going to draft. I told everybody right now, they're drafting Collins from Texas. They're drafting him. If he's there around that third round, he is the draft pick. I'm telling y'all. Bank on that. I want to put money on that.
good.
So there it is.
All right. I got to go
They
eat.
definitely ain't trading up. All right, big dog. I appreciate you. We'll meet up again. I'll be talking to you. Tell the wife I said
Peace.
what's up.
Thank y'all.
All right, man. We out of here because I'm about to jump on my guy's show. Make sure you check that out. My guy. I'm gonna go on my Twitter, repost. Make sure you check. Appreciate everybody who was in the chat and the feed today. Let me pull this up. My guy Capricorn 1. I'm gonna be on his show. He just texted me, so I'm gonna be on his show. So go on his live. Dallas Cowboys for Life, Cowboy Carter. I'm gonna be on his live. Very excited. Capricorn 1. He come with it. He come with it, and I'm excited to do that show with him. And we're gonna be doing that show around 4 p.m. Eastern time, or maybe 5 p.m. Eastern time. But make sure you check it out. Hopefully he'll send the link, and we'll go from there. But I appreciate all in the feed. I'm gonna grab me something to eat. Love y'all for life, and let's get it. Appreciate y'all. Peace. I'm out.